inside of the body. Thus far, we have taken only a brief look at the outside of the body, and we have found out very little about its many wondrous parts. Very likely, you want to ask a great many questions, such as how does the inside of the body look? What is in the skull? What is in the chest? What is in the abdomen? Why do we eat and drink? Why do we become hungry and thirsty? What makes us tired and sleepy? How do we keep warm? Why do we breathe? How do we grow? How do we move about? How do we talk, laugh, and sing? How do we remember, think, and reason? All these and a great many more interesting questions you will find answered in the following lessons if you study each one well. When we study the inside of the body, we begin to understand how wonderful we are made. We cannot all see the inside of the body, and it is not necessary that we should do so. Many learned men have spent their whole lives in seeking to find out all about our bodies and the bodies of various animals. Like the bones, if you take hold of your arm, it seems soft on the outside, and if you press upon it, you will feel something hard inside. The soft part is called flesh. The hard part is called bone. If you wish, you can easily get one of the bones of an animal at the butcher's shop, or you may find some out in the wild. Next, the skeleton. All the bones of an animal, when placed properly together, have nearly the shape of the body and are called skeleton. The skeleton forms the framework of the body, just as the heavy timbers of a house form its framework. It supports all the parts. The skull. The bony part of the head is called the skull. In the skull is a hollow place or chamber. You know that a bank often has a strong room or a safe in which is kept money, important papers, and other valuable things. The chamber in the skull is the strong room or the safe of the body. It has strong, tough walls of bone and contains the brain. The brain is the most important and also the most tender and delicate organ in the whole body. This is why it is so carefully guarded from injury. The backbone, the framework of the back, is called the backbone. This is not a single bone, but a row of bones arranged one above another. Each bone has a hole through it, about as large as one of your fingers. A large branch from the brain, called the spinal cord, runs down to the middle of the backbone, so that the separate bones look as if they were strung on the spinal cord, like beads on a string. The trunk. The trunk of the body, like the skull, is hollow. Its walls are formed partly by the backbone, and the ribs are partly by flesh. A fleshy wall divides the hollow of the trunk into two parts, an upper chamber called the chest and a lower called the abdomen. The lungs and the heart. The chest contains a pair of organs called the lungs, with which we breathe. It also contains something which we can feel beating at left side. This is heart. The heart lies between the two lungs and a little to the left side. The stomach and the liver. In the abdomen are some very important, wonderful organs that do different kinds of work for the body. Among them are the stomach, the bowels, and the liver. There are also other organs whose names we shall learn when we come to study them. How to care of the body. We have only begun to study the beautiful house in which we live, and yet we not learn enough to show us how great and wise is the Creator who made us and all the wonderful machinery within our bodies. If someone should give you a beautiful present, would you treat it carelessly and spoil it? Or would you take good care of it and keep it nice as long as possible? Ought we not to take such care of our bodies as to keep them in the perfect and beautiful condition in which our kind and good Creator gave them to us? In summary, the body has a framework called the skeleton. Number two, the skeleton is made up of many parts, each of which is called the bone. Number three, the bones are covered by the flesh. 4. The bones of the head from the skull, which is hollow and contains the brain. 5. A row of bones arranged in the back, one above another, forms the backbone. The backbone has a canal running through its lengthwise, in which lies the spinal cord. 6. The trunk is hollow and has two chambers, one called the cavity of the chest and the other the cavity of the abdomen. 7. The chest contains the two lungs and the heart. 8. The abdomen contains the stomach, the liver, and many other very important organs. 9. It is not our duty to take good care of our bodies as we would of some nice presents from a friend.